Tune in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago where the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly as they get ready to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep, and he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Dallas Cowboys. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row. Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point. But, boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
Let's go!
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give the tackle that time to Rodney McLeod. And the offensive starters for Dallas.
This offense begins and ends with Ezekiel Elliott. He played in only 10 games last year after leading the league in rushing as a rookie, but still led the league in rushing yards per game for the 2nd year in a row. When he gets his hands on the football, everyone comes to the edge of their seat.
They go play action with Brissett. And his throw is incomplete. And the defense now for the Eagles.
Coming off injury in 2017 is middle linebacker Jordan Hicks, who's an important part of the Eagles' wide 9 defense. And when you hear that term, think about the defensive ends out wider than normal so they have a better angle to rush the quarterback. So that means guys like Jordan Hicks, who played middle linebacker, have to be able to fill in the holes against the running game, and he does that very effectively.
Here we go!
Now Brissett. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Brissett now. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. He finds his target, Terrence Williams. And he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing we do know, He's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Let's go! 190!
Now Elliott. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or two.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up. Nigel Bradham brings him down. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On the left side, Gallup's got it. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys gonna come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Come on, let's go! 190! 190!
Brissett now on 2nd down. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here.
Let's go!
Brissett. And that is incomplete.
Chances are good. He's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that that could be a really, really frequent combination. And this one is right through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It sounds like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking a 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting a 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a play fake. Wentz. And his first look is incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Now Wentz on the bootleg. And Jeffrey's got it. An Eagle 1st down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sean Lee coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Wentz now to throw. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. On that quick throw, what do you think? Possibly something they saw at the line to go there?
Possibly in the game plan. And you notice they went with an empty backfield. No backs there to help with pass protection. So you have to have a counter to that because you know they're probably going to bring pressure when they see an empty backfield. So you get rid of the ball quickly. Quick drop, ball's out of the quarterback's hands, keeps it from getting hit, and they get a completion. And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And this is Ertz with it, right side. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Wentz going to throw. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage. This Cowboy defense looked ready for that 3rd down pass. Brings up 4th.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Elliott puts this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
This one taken just inside the 10. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Johnathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go! What? 9!
They'll start the drive with Elliott. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called rose stem right or rose stem left, depending on the formation. 28 toss. And 28 toss was their bread and butter.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying it is one thing. We can second guess just about it.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions go away. That means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now Wentz throwing on second down. A dump off to Sproles. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On first down, Wentz. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. The Eagles on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And the kick by Elliott is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. Well, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Johnathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Ben Roethlisberger, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. We'll stay in the AFC North as we head over to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. And finally, Monday Night Football. It's the Chiefs and Rams from down in Mexico City. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This one taken just inside the 10. Shedding the tackle. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent game,
Still second down.
not on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On second down, here's Wentz. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Working from the gun, Wentz. He's got his man, that's Wallace. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Play action now. Brissett. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start out on the ground with Sproles. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Again, they'll run it. Again, it's Sproles. Oh, what a juke into space. He's at the 40. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play there for Philly. 52 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. They run with a Johnny. And he went backwards. Loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
Goes underneath for Sproles. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They go play action here on 1st down. Got his man there complete to Gallup. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Brissett. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it's a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Let's go!
A 2nd down throw for Brissett. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here we go! What?
2nd down, Brissett. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nigel Bradham coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Sidney Jones. Well, he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. To throw is Wentz. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Wow, a personal foul at this
down.
stage in the 4th. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. David Irving with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's John Ryan now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Eagles, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Dallas, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup